Hi guys, today's video is going to be about rampaging your affirmations, exaggerating them, 2 different ways of affirming and kind of speaking into existence your desired manifestations and reality and thinking about them. Just slightly different formats of thinking about your desired outcome and why they work so well, what the benefits are, why I would recommend them, and yeah, so if you enjoy this topic, if this is something you'd like me to talk about more in the future, if you want to continue engaging with my manifestation content, then I would really appreciate if you thumbs up the video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, which is just below the video screen that you're looking at now, and you can stay up to date with all my newest content being uploaded, which is pretty much every single day. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. Also, I have one-on-one coaching available if that's something you're interested in, if you're struggling with your manifestation and you'd like that extra help. All the information of what I offer is on screen right now. These are my newest offers, and also my regular coaching packages are being highlighted on my Instagram, which is LOA Coaching, linked in the description box. Take a look if you're interested. So let's get started. When it comes to exaggerating, it can really help your mind accept your desired reality faster, because you are exaggerating. So because you're going above and beyond, let's say, so of course I'll give an SP example, that's probably one of the most prominent, most popular topics for manifestation. If you are wanting to be in a committed relationship with SP, which I think most of us would want, right? Let's say that's your affirmation. SP and I are in a committed relationship. To exaggerate it, you would say, SP is so obsessed with me that he/she is committed to me forever. Something like that, like that's an exaggeration. So it could go even further than that, but I'm trying to show you an example of transitioning from a normal commitment affirmation to one that's more exaggerated. Another SP example for exaggeration is, I am all that SP thinks about all day, night, all morning, day and night. Let me start that over. I am all that SP thinks about all morning, day and night. So basically 24/7. So an exaggeration would be that they only think about you for the entire day, right? Like that is an exaggeration rather than SP is constantly thinking about me, or SP always messages me. You're kind of taking it above and beyond and saying, well, every waking moment they're thinking of me, you know? Those are examples of exaggeration. So because you're taking it one step further, you're allowing your mind to accept the possibility of that relationship even faster. So it's not a guarantee. It's not that if you exaggerate it, you'll get your manifestation in 1 minute. That's not what I'm saying. Your mind still has to conform the way it would to any other affirmation, but it's kind of taking one step further. So if all you want is a text message from your SP and you start affirming that you're married to them, guess what? You're going to get that communication regardless. So it's kind of like exaggerating to be able to accept a smaller reality that is actually your desired outcome, if that makes sense. So another positive of using exaggeration is that something that might seem impossible to you or really difficult to achieve normally, like I said, any of those exaggerations for any topic, if you want a high-paying job and you start saying, I earn millions of pounds a year, right? That's probably an exaggeration for most of us. That would be going above and beyond what we would normally expect or be working towards or even consider realistic as part of our desire, right? So by going above and beyond, you're helping and allowing yourself to feel more confident because you're kind of breaking down the barrier of what would seem impossible. Your subconscious mind doesn't have logic, so it will start to accept anything you tell it. If you start saying, the sky is hot pink, guess what? You're probably going to start seeing a lot of really pink sunsets, sunrises, pictures of the sky being pink. Like you're just going to start seeing all of these examples because your reality has to conform. Your subconscious mind cannot tell you that's impossible, that's not realistic, you know, that's not the way science works. Your mind cannot tell you that. So whatever you convince your mind of, you will start to see reflected in your reality in some way. So it's just going to help your conscious mind as well connect to that, be affected by that, and start to feel more confident and think, you know, oh yeah, actually, I can be in a relationship. You know, maybe they are obsessed with me. Maybe they do think of me 24/7. Maybe, you know, all these things are possible and coming true. So it's going to help you kind of get into a more confident state regarding your manifestation. The more you focus on something and the more your mind starts to find logical ways that could be possible, or like I said, if you are affirming that they are completely obsessed with you all day long, when all you really want is, you know, them to text you and ask you out on a date, for example, regarding an SP, guess what? Your mind is going to break down the barriers of, well, we haven't spoken for this amount and these are the circumstances and there's a third party. Your mind isn't even going to start thinking of those. It's going to let go of that and actually start to accept what you would normally think is impossible or unlikely, simply because you've exaggerated your affirmations. So what I've already said, but I want to touch on this point as well, just to help you guys kind of understand it a bit better, maybe just feel more confident and reassured and excited to test this out. By going above and beyond with your affirmations, you're really targeting those limiting beliefs. So like I said, if you're judging by circumstances, if that's what's really ingrained in your mind and that's what the old story has been up until this point, that they don't communicate, they don't even live near you, they're in another relationship, whatever it is, that's what your mind is going to put up as hurdles, right? But by going above and beyond with exaggerations, you're targeting those limiting beliefs and kind of breaking them down faster, instead of just trying to deal with, okay, he's texting me, she's texting me, which there's nothing wrong with that. You can go in steps. You can absolutely manifest and affirm for anything you want. You can start from the smallest step if that's how you want to do it. But you are going above and beyond, so you're kind of, as you are reaching, you know, that manifestation of them being obsessed with you or you earning millions of pounds, whatever it is, you're breaking down the other limiting beliefs that are connected to your manifestation. So now moving on to the topic of rampaging. This is very similar and you can use them in conjunction. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can combine all the different practices together. You can exaggerate in scripting. You can rampage, ask affirmations. You can do whatever you want, right? But with rampaging, it's another good way to get into a confident state of mind, a really powerful state, a mental state that's really going to benefit you, because you are rampaging in the way you're saying it is going to have some kind of emotion or power behind it, right? Because you're not going to rampaging is not going, SP loves me, SP wants to be with me, SP is mine. That's not rampaging, right? That's not even a good way to affirm, in my opinion. I think you should put more energy into it, maybe go a little faster, a little more energetically, ideally. But rampaging would be, you know, SP can't keep his eyes off me. SP is obsessed with me. Why is he always texting me? He just can't keep his eyes or hands off me. He's obsessed. Why does he love me so much? I just can't even understand how we came to have this most perfect relationship. That's an example of rampaging. So you can do it angrily, you can do it happily, you can do it excitedly, you can do it in a confused, annoyed state. You can be like, he's so annoying that he's always texting me. Like, why do I have a million messages from him right now? You can do that, right? So rampaging really helps you tap into that confident state of being where you're acting, right? In the moment of rampaging, you're acting like you already have it, and like you're questioning it, or you're telling someone this massive rant about what's going on in your relationship. So it really helps your self-concept, because you start to feel more powerful as a manifester, that you really can get what you want, that you can, you know, manifest that specific desire, and it seems so realistic and in your grasp, and all of those things actually start to sound like they could be true, like they make sense to you. You know, that's the kind of state you want to get into with rampaging. And I'd recommend going for at least 5 or 10 minutes, because that's how you're going to really start to embody it a bit more. Another point that's really simple, honestly, it's just more fun. Using crazy exaggerations is quite funny and fun. Like, if all you want is, you know, your SP to text you, and then you start saying, I get a million messages a day from SP. It's kind of funny. Like, for me, I've used exaggeration before, and I just start laughing sometimes, like this like evil little laugh, like, oh, what am I creating here? But honestly, it's just fun. It's enjoyable. It's tapping into your confidence. It's breaking down the limits of what is possible. You know, you're helping remove those of, you know, oh, I could never say that or manifest that. Well, actually you can. You could get a million messages. There's nothing to say anywhere that that's not a possibility. It is, although your phone might literally break, but you can say it, and guess what? It will start to lead to more communication from your SP. You'll get birds before land, you'll get movement. I really do think it is a good practice to try, because it could work really well for you. Same with rampaging. It's very, very fun. I really enjoy, you know, just tapping into that crazy boss state where you're just super powerful, you feel unstoppable, you're trying to convince yourself of those things. It's just a fun practice to do. So when you're spiraling, and this is another reason why it can help you manifest faster, if you're spiraling, you're in a state of doubt or anxiety, this is where you could shift, like I said, that commitment affirmation at the beginning of the video and shift it into the exaggerated version. You could try that. That could help you release some of the doubt, start to feel a little more confident. I think it could really help. And also with rampaging, it gets you out of the state of spiraling. You are not focusing on it anymore, you're not doubting, you're literally forcing yourself, almost acting, literally being an actor, and acting confident or angry, and just having what could technically be like verbal diarrhea. Like anything positive that comes out about the manifestation is fine. It doesn't even have to be your affirmations. It could be about your job giving you tons of money, everyone treating you like a queen or king, having 100 days of leave, paid leave every year. Just anything positive about your manifestation that comes out is the correct way to rampage. Try and tie it back into your affirmations, don't completely veer off. But if it's linked to, the perfect job, the perfect relationship, you looking your best, physical changes, anything that aligns with it is fine. And, try and throw out your affirmations and then see where your mind goes from there, just whatever you feel like saying to yourself in that moment. So there's no correct way to rampage, but those are my recommendations. And it's just the perfect distraction. So anytime you're spiraling, feeling doubt, something terrible has happened, terrible in your opinion, in your perspective, because remember, you decide how things go in your reality. If something like that happens in your 3D reality, take a 5 or 10 minute break. If you're at home, go to your room or whatever, and just put a timer on and do a rampage, right? You don't have to feel it. You will start to feel it as you're doing it, but if you're angry or upset, you can cry whilst doing it. You can scream the affirmations, anything. It will help you stop spiraling, I promise. So final few points is that rampaging and exaggerating helps you tap into your desired reality and helps you tap into the end result of what you want, because you are essentially convincing yourself of that. You are creating this idea and telling your subconscious mind that this is possible. All those crazy scenarios and this ridiculously high amount of messages or money, whatever, it's possible. So you're starting to convince yourself and introduce the ideas of this being something you could experience and telling your mind, it is happening now, it is happening now. You're convincing yourself in a way of it. So it's really going to help you tap in more into that end result of what you actually want. And final point that I wanted to mention is that it's a really good form of mental diet. So rampaging specifically, exaggerated affirmations are just a form of affirming, and they do tie into a mental diet, but the actual act of rampaging, it's taking 5, 10, 15, I've done even 20-minute rampages, honestly. However long you take, it's a really great way to implement a mental diet, to do your mental diet. If you're spiraling, that's how you nip it in the bud, right? You set a timer and you just start rampaging. Even if it's only 20 sentences, it's really going to help you stop those doubts and negative thoughts and whatever you were about to spiral about, and bring it back into the positive result. Like, well, no, he's actually doing this, she's doing that, she's saying this is how she feels about me, this is how my reality goes, I'm in control, all these things, right? You're convincing yourself, bringing yourself back into a state of power. Even if you don't believe it, you don't have to. Trust me, it has like a placebo effect on your mind. It boosts your mood. It's like standing in front of a mirror in a confident pose. It just has a psychological effect on your mind. So even though you might not notice it or you might still feel anxious, trust me, it does have an effect on your mind, especially the subconscious. So it is a really good form of mental diet. So those are all the pieces of advice and tips I had to give you guys about how to use these specific affirmations, these methods. I hope it was useful and gave you guys some clarity and inspiration. If so, then please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you next time.